Right guys, I'm not going to lie, that was a clickbait thumbnail. I hold my hands up. But hopefully you're here watching the video, because it is certainly something that I've been thinking quite a lot on lately. I am nearly 12 months deep into my retirement, and with that has come a substantial reduction in performance enhancing drugs. Now, there's a couple of things that kind of make me wonder about this particular topic. The first off is, like I said, I'm 12 months deep. I have taken my dosages down substantially. I am still taking, and I will continue to take for the rest of my life. I think, the damage has probably been done to my natural hormones. Plus, I do believe that, a true TRT is a very beneficial thing for a man after a certain age. But that's besides the point. Right now, my current anabolic dosage total is 500 milligrams a week. 300 milligrams a week of testosterone, 200 milligrams of masteron. So that is not a cruise, that is not TRT. I'm also taking 2.5 IU of growth, and that's all I'm taking. Now, I can justify what I'm taking. I can justify it because I'm a big guy. I want to maintain a good level of size while slowly downsizing. And my health markers are on check, and I am consistently checking on them. But on the flip side of that, I could also argue that is that a level of subconscious addiction going on? Because it is probably unnecessary. A lot of people would probably deem that as, well, it's not a cruise. I don't think it's a cruise. It's a cruise for maybe a professional bodybuilder, but I'm not that anymore. So, am I taking that because I need to, or am I taking it because I've convinced myself that it's right for me? And honestly, there is no right or wrong answer here. I could go back and forth with myself all day long. All I know is that I am happy in my decision, and I am seeing good progress with what I want to achieve in the long run, and that is seeing my body weight go down, seeing my fitness go up, and seeing my health markers improve. So as anyone who's watched any videos regarding my blood work, it is in a decent place and only getting better. So that's the first thing. The second thing that makes me wonder, is there a level of addiction here, is I think about increasing the dosages and adding things in quite frequently. The temptation is high and is strong and is always there. I do coach people for a living, so I guide people on their own kind of usage, and I coach some fantastic bodybuilders who I see the progress they're making, and I still love bodybuilding. I still have that itch. So in the back of my mind, I'm always like, what if I just add in a bit more of this, or add in a bit more of that, or 8 weeks of Anavar, just see if I can tighten up and harden up a little bit. Because at the end of the day, I am content with the way I look right now. I think I look decent. I'm very happy with where I am 12 months post-show. But at the same time, I know that with a little bit of extra assistance, a few bits and a few bobs, the look could change and could become a little bit better in my eyes, because I know what kind of cosmetic impact drugs can have on my physique. So again, this is one where I'd struggle to justify it, but that doesn't mean I don't have these thoughts. And am I having these thoughts because there is an underlying addiction? I don't know, I just find it very fascinating. It's just something I've been thinking an awful lot on, and I'm sure there are other people in the same situation. Now, the third and final point, which I kind of consider here as well, is since I've retired, there have been a few more kind of supplements and peptides come out. You've got retatrutide, it's massive at the moment. You've got SLUP. And again, the temptation to just jump in and, trial these things. Now, I suppose they're slightly different because they're not anabolics per se, but they're still assistants. They're still, performance enhancing drugs to an extent. And constantly, again, a kind of fairly constant battle and kind of internal dialogue with myself of, should I start taking it, should I trial it? One thing I will say is I am someone who, unless it's going to directly negatively impact my health, And in a field where like I said, I am actively involved, I will trial these things. And in fact, I am currently trialing SLUP to see how I feel. I'm going to be doing a separate video of that when I have completed enough time using that. And I probably will do that with certain peptides and things in the future. Again, I can justify it because it's me going, oh, for my professional development to help my clients, I'm trialing these things so I can get an understanding of how they feel, the relevant dosages, any negative side effects, what to expect. But let's be honest, it is also me going, I'm going to try this because I hear good things and it could make me look better. As vain as it is, you know, when you've been involved in a aesthetics-based sport for competitively for well over a decade, it's not something you just sort of shake off. Again, I feel like I'm dealing pretty well psychologically since finishing, but as I said in this video, there are a lot of thoughts there. There are a lot of questions I ask myself. And again, you know, I can justify it all, but I could also argue against it and could argue the case that there is an underlying condition, an underlying addiction, so to speak. But to finish on, I will just say kind of my current goals have not changed. You know, my current focus is very much trying to stay looking good as a bodybuilder or an ex-bodybuilder. You know, I'm still passionate about bodybuilding. I still love training. And again, another kind of argument I could make to justify my reasoning. You know, I like to train hard, and I want to recover from that. But I am successfully doing this as well. Downsizing. My average body weight's about 300 pounds now. At the beginning of the year, I was 312. So, you know, although we are in September, it's 9 months and 12 pounds. It's a very slow rate of gain. It's a rate of loss. It is a rate of loss that I am content with, given how I look, given how I'm training. And then combine it with the fact that, you know, I'm doing more cardio, I'm doing harder cardio, I am fitter. My day-to-day quality of life has improved, my sleep quality has improved, my health markers are improving. You know, again, all of this is done, you know, and always has been. I've always been a big believer in kind of tracking and managing the risks of this sport, because it's not safe, it's not healthy, and you can't argue that it is. But there are ways that we can manage it. Again, I'm never going to sit here and glorify drug use, but I'm also not going to sit here and deny my own use, deny my own past, and deny my current thoughts. So there you have it. What do you guys think? Do you think there is an element of addiction with myself? Do you think there is an element of addiction, you know, in bodybuilding? It's a tough one. You know, when you push yourself so hard and you look a certain way, it's not easy to let go. It isn't. And yeah, with that there comes a lot of questions, temptations, and other things. But I am fully on my path of progressing down this route, health, fitness, and still looking pretty decent as well. So stay tuned for how that goes. I will be completely honest if, you know, anything gets the better of me and I wind up taking things up again, you'll be the first to know. But for now, it's only going one way. But there are a lot of questions and there are constant temptations. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A little bit different. I just had this on my mind and I wanted to sort of share it and voice it. So I'm not sure how it's come across. You guys let me know. But there's a little bit of a different video for you guys today. Thank you very much for watching. Any questions, please put them below. I'll be fascinated to hear your guys' thoughts. And yeah, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you all. Thank you so, so much.